let's define what do you mean by taxonomy and systematics separately. Taxonomy is nothing but a science that deals with the collection, identification, nomenclature, description, and classification of plants as well as animals. Then, what are the three goals of taxonomy? First one is identification, second one is classification, next, third one is description. Now, what do you mean by identification? Identification means you're identifying an unknown plant and comparing it with previously collected plant species. Classification means after identification, you are placing the plants into groups or categories to show some relationship with each other. That is what is called as classification. Next goal is description. After classifying the unknown, which is now known plant, you're describing the new species in the form of a scientific paper. That is called as description. Now let's see what do you mean by systematics. Systematics is a branch of science that includes the study of similarities and differences or dissimilarities among different kinds of organisms. It also includes identification, nomenclature, and classification. It is of few types like classical systematics, molecular systematics. Classical systematics is also called as morphological systematics. It is based on the similarities in the plant physical characteristics. At the same time, molecular systematics, it is based on similarities in the genetic level or in the genetic material. Systematics as well as taxonomy, they are interrelated with each other. Both of them, they aim to better understanding and reflect the two relationships between the different plants. Now, taxonomy or systematics is a study or description on different variations among the organisms in order to come out with a classification system. That means taxonomy or systematic will help us to classify the different species, no matter it is a plant or the animal which exists on the earth. Taxonomy began about 300 years before Christ by Theophrastus in the year 370 to 280 C before Christ, that is BC. Carolus Linnaeus, regarded as the founder of taxonomy, or you can call father of taxonomy till date. Let's talk about taxonomy categories. What all are included under this taxonomic category? First of all, taxonomy is a Greek word. Taxis means arrangement. Norma means method. It is nothing but dealing with the groups and names of organism based on the studies of the different characteristics features. Okay, now next is organisms. They are grouped together into taxa, or you can call singular taxon. Taxa is plural, taxon is singular. So the principal ranks in the modern use involves different categories. What are those categories? Kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. What do you mean by taxon and category? Taxon is a group of living organisms. It occupies a taxonomic rank, and category is a name given to the various taxonomic ranks. Taxon was first coined by H. J. Lamb in the year 1948 for plants. Category, if you talk about, it is a rank or level in the hierarchical classification of organisms. Taxon is a group of one or more population of an organism seen by taxonomists, which forms a unit. Later on, a taxon is usually known by a particular name and it's been given a particular ranking, and that is nothing but called as category. If a taxon is given a formal scientific name, its use is governed by nomenclature codes, which we will be discussing in the future lectures linked with living world. What do you mean by category? It designates rank or level in a hierarchical classification. It is a class whose members are all the taxa that are assigned a given rank. A species category is a class whose members are the species taxa. So we have different categories in the plant as well as animal system, such as species, genus, family, order, etc. Now, whatever you can see over here, starting from species to kingdom, it is in descending order. I can call descending, it's an okay. Now, when I call from kingdom to species, it's a descending order. Next, taxonomic categories are shown for plants as well as animals. Now, it's a taxonomic categories in ascending order. That means you are going from species, then comes genus, then comes family, order, class, division, and then kingdom. When you talk about animals, species, genus, family, order, class, then division is replaced by phylum. So in animals, you have phylum. In plants, you have division. And then the largest category comes the kingdom. Now let's discuss each one of this category starting from species. Why species? Because species is the smallest and basic unit in the system of classification. It is a group of individuals with similar morphological characters which are able to interbreed with each other, and they produce individuals of their own kind. For example, in plant, it is Solanum nigrum. It's a scientific name, botanical name for brinjal. And Solanum tuberosum. It's a botanical name for potato. Here nigrum and tuberosum. These are the species of a similar genus, Solanum genus. So species names are nigrum and tuberosum. When you talk about animal, the genus Panthera includes the species Leo. Leo is a scientific name. A lion is a common name. And Panthera tigris is a name for scientific name for tiger. So Panthera includes the species Leo. So Panthera leo. Here Panthera is genus. Species is Leo for lion. That means there is a common genus Panthera, but the species varies. In case of lion, it is Leo. In case of tiger, it is tigris. Now next category is genus. It is the first higher category above the species level. It is a group of species which include the related characters which is common with respect to the species. For example, in plants, family Solanaceae, it comprises the genus Solanum. In animal, it is Hylidae. It comprises the genus Panthera for lion and tiger, and genus Felis for cat. Next, you can see the important different types of species. Let's talk about the first one, morphospecies. Morphospecies are due to categorized on the basis of morphological characters, that is external features or characters. Second is taxonomic species. They have this type of species, they have a binomial name. Next, sibling species are the true species which do not interbreed but are otherwise difficult to separate on the basis of morphological characters only. Next is allopteric species. The species have exclusive areas of geographical distribution. Next is sympatric species. Sympatric species have overlapping areas of geographic distribution. Next, parapatric species, the species with adjacent geographic ranges meeting in a very narrow zone of overlap. Next comes lineal species, a taxonomic species distinguished on morphological grounds are the lineal species. Now, what is biospecies? A species which is developed on the basis of reproductive and genetic isolation of natural population. What is a species now? A species reproducing asexually only. Next, species. Sexually reproducing species are called as species. How will you remember that? Gamo represents gamete. Gametes are involved in sexual reproduction. So you call species as sexually reproducing species. Same way, for a species, it is without the presence of gametes. So it is asexually reproducing species. So you call it a species. Then keystone species, a species that play a key role or central role in the ecology of a place. Jordan species, a two breeding genetic unit below the rank of species is nothing but Jordan species. Next, I'll start with family now. It includes one or more genera differentiated from others, related families by certain differences. It can be vegetative, it can be reproductive. Example of plant family order, it is polymonials, comprises families like Solanaceae and Convolvulaceae. In case of animal, the order is carnivore. So it includes families like Felidae, which belongs to cats. Canidae, it includes dogs and foxes. Ursidia includes bears, etc. Now, after family, let's go ahead to order. It is an assemblage of families resembling one another in one or few more characters. These characters are less similar as compared to characters of many genera placed in a family. In plant, the examples are Dicotyledone, which consists of order Rosales, Polymonials, Spandials, Ranels, etc., on the basis of floral characters. When we talk about animal, class Mammalia includes order Chiroptera, Marsupialia, Rodentia, Cetacea, Carnivora. Next, after order, we talk about class. It represents organisms of related order. Plants example Monocotyledone and Dicotyledone. Animals, it includes the class Mammalia. Next, phylum or division. As I already mentioned, phylum is for the animal and the division is for the plants. Now, in case of it includes different classes having a few common characters. Plant, you have division. In animal, you're using phylum. For example, chordata. It includes classes like Pisces, Amphibia, Reptilia, Aves, and Mammalia. Next is kingdom. It's one of the highest category of classification. Okay. It includes all organisms that share a set of distinguishing common characters. Kingdom Plantae, which include plants. Kingdom Animalia, which includes all the animals. Now, there are certain organisms with their taxonomic categories. For example, here I have given the common name human. What's the scientific name? Homo sapiens. In this, sapiens means species. Homo means genus. Belongs to the family Hominidae. Then you have the order Primata. Then you have the class Mammalia. It belongs to phylum Chordata. Then the kingdom Animalia. Next, dog. Dog, what is the scientific name? Canis familiaris. What is the species? It is familiaris. Genus Canis. Family Canidae. It belongs to order Carnivora. It belongs to class Mammalia. Then it belongs to phylum Chordata and it belongs to kingdom Animalia. So like we have some other animal species like housefly. Okay, then I'll take an example of a plant. I'll take a common example, wheat. The scientific name of wheat is Triticum aestivum. The species is aestivum. Genus is Triticum. It belongs to family Poaceae. Order is Poaceae. class? It monocotyledony. And what is a division? It belongs to, it's a plant. So I'll call it as division. It belongs to angiosperm. Which kingdom it belongs to? It belongs to plant. So this is what all about taxonomy, systematics, and taxonomic categories. Next, then we will discuss about taxonomic aids. Thank you.